All right, so let's talk about correction. So this is one of those topics that can actually stir up a lot. Some of us were raised in homes where correction was done with fear. Others were raised with almost no correction. Just express yourself and you figure it out later. But here's the deal: is that discipline is not about punishment. Discipline is about training our children. Correction is not meant to tear down our children. Correction is intended to actually build our children up, because the word discipline and the word disciple actually come from the same root. And that's precisely the lens that we need as parents. It's the lens we want to look through, that discipline is not about controlling them. It's not about behavior management. The purpose of discipline is not about punishment. It's about discipleship. It's about character, training your child's heart, preparing them for the future. It's not just, listen, stop doing that. It's, let me help you become who God made you to be. For example, have you ever had that moment where you're correcting your child and halfway through you realize you're just venting on them? Yeah, unfortunately, I've been there. Me too. I've been there with you. And if you've been a parent actually for very long at all, we've all been there. But here's the thing, that when our discipline is reactive, then we discipline for our relief and not their growth. However, when it's thoughtful, when it's calm, and when it's consistent, we don't correct because we're angry. We correct because we love them too much to not correct them. And so I want to give you 3 marks of biblical discipline for our families. Because if we're going to be great parents, we want to know what does healthy biblical correction actually look like. And so let me give you 3 things, all right? First of all is it's clear. There's no ambiguity. Your child should know what the boundaries are before they cross it, not after. All right. So next, it's consistent. We've already talked about this. We hit this last week, but it really matters here too as we're talking about this. No games. This is consistent. All right. And so we don't want it to be where sometimes you react, sometimes you ignore it. Remember, consistency builds trust. And then last is discipline should be calm. Correction, it should come from peace, not rage. When your child, when they see that you can stay steady, even when they mess up, they learn that failure does not separate them from love. It actually invites growth. And so this is where it all comes together, because the goal of correction is actually heart change. It's not just behavior change, it's heart change. Because you're not trying to raise a child who just acts perfectly all the time. You want to raise somebody who understands why correction matters for their good. When you discipline from a place of love, you're modeling how God disciplines us. I mean, He's firm, but He's kind. He's strong in His discipline, but He's full of grace as well. And He's not passive at all. He's not cruel either. He's just loving, and He's steady, and He's consistent. So next time your child disobeys, I want you to pause, not for dramatic effect, but just for clarity. Step back for a minute, take a breath, remind yourself of the why that you're doing this, and correct from a place of peace and not from a place of frustration. And then after the correction, then I want you to reconnect with them. Like, let them know that the relationship is not damaged because of the correction and the discipline. In fact, it's stronger because of love. And so we're going to actually talk about how to do that next week. But as parents, we can't be afraid to correct. We want to focus on raising our children who can be a success, not children that don't know how to deal with correction. Because discipline isn't the opposite of grace. It is grace when it's done the right way. You're not punishing them, you're actually parenting with purpose. when you're disciplining them.